Well, it's December here in Bill's garden, and I like to talk about carrots. Carrots are one of my favorite vegetables. Carrots can be eaten raw, they can be eaten cooked. Carrots even can work as confections. I love carrot cake. Don't eat much of it, but I like carrot cake. So the carrot is a rather versatile vegetable. One of the other things I really like about carrots is that since we've been in a drought here on the West Coast, California in particular, it's been really, really dry, the carrot is actually a relatively drought-tolerant vegetable. I really do appreciate them because of the fact that they're a taproot and they go down deep into the earth. And so I really, really like carrots and most of the rest of their family, like parsley and dill and such, parsnips, for growing in the second half of summer in California. So in the case of the carrots I have here in the garden today, I had put in sweet corn in my garden in March. That sweet corn was harvested around the end of July or so. I went through, I took all the stalks out of the garden, I worked the soil up a little bit, and I went in and I planted carrot seed following the sweet corn. August in California is one of the drier, warmer months that we experience here, and so it's a little bit hard to get these vegetables to go. So the carrot was planted in depressed trenches so that I was able to get water on top of the seed. I kept it so that it was diked all the way around the edges, so all water that was put on the carrots was basically trapped right in the area, so we minimalized how much water we actually needed to get the seed to germinate. Once the seeds germinate on carrot and that little taproot starts going down in the dirt, they really are durable, and they work extremely well for a second crop planted in late summer here. Let me show you my carrots. Right here we have a nice fluffy green row of carrot tops, all planted from seed back in August. Now, I mean, it's really been dry around here. I actually abandoned half of my garden late this summer because it was just too dry. It was just impossible to do much with it. So I kind of minimalized how many areas I was planting the vegetables in to conserve water. But these carrots, they just did a wonderful thing over here. I'm going to go down and dig some of these out. Let's have a look at it and just see how nice these carrots are.
Now, the carrot is pretty easy to figure out when it's getting ripe, because if you look down here, you can peek at the crowns. And see, we have a nice round orange carrot right there. You can see one sticking up out of the soil over here too. So here we go. Put the old shovel in here next to them carrots. Go down deep so we don't break them off. Pull back like that. There they come. What do we got here? Ah, yes. Ah, yes. That's what I was talking about. Look at that puppy right there, huh? This is what I was looking for. Well, there we have it. I went through and I dug up a couple shovelfuls of these guys. It's a row run here. I've cleaned them up a little bit for you so they're photogenic because they came out kind of muddy. It was raining last night. But it's a beautiful bunch of carrots we got here. Like I say, these are real darn easy to grow vegetables. They're real good for you. As you get older, it gets harder to see at night while you're driving. Carrots will improve your eyesight. So they're definitely good for old guys like me who go night blind. Tastes pretty good. Got a few weirdies right there. We got a walking carrot. Look, he's got two legs. Every now and then they'll even grow other organs. But these are all pretty straight, pretty smooth. Not bad. Good looking carrots. So the beauty of all this, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that it was drier than heck. About ready to give up on a lot of crops, like lettuce became impossible late in the summer. It was just so dry. But not the carrot. It's a real survivor. The hardest part about growing the carrot is getting the carrot seed to germinate. Okay? So those of you who may have had problems with this vegetable, this is not a vegetable you want to transplant, because transplanting a carrot usually damages the root and will give you one of these. You'll end up with doubles, triples, all kinds of weird Martian carrots, with deformities.
You want to sow the seed directly in the ground where it's supposed to grow. Make sure that you plant them a bit depressed below the surface if you live in a dry area, okay, like California. If you live somewhere where it rains all the time, it's not really going to matter very much. But it takes 14 to 21 days to get the seed to germinate in the garden. And so if the seed dries out in the meantime, you could lose the crop. It's one reason I think people claim they have trouble growing carrots. Getting the seed up is a little tough. Depress the trenches, put the carrot seed in the bottom. I always use compost or potting soil over the top rather than native earth. Carrot seedlings are weak when they emerge. They don't like crusted earth, and so covering it with compost actually helps a lot. And also, because compost is darker near earth, you'll be able to see where those carrots are in case weeds came up in the meantime. Because of this, though, do pick a place that's relatively weed-free. It will make your life much easier when you're growing carrots. If you have a lot of weeds, it's really going to be a problem to get the little seedlings and find them and keep them from getting overrun and so on. But plant them depressed, cover them in compost, and then walk on them when you're done. I got angry one time while planting carrots, and my children, when they were little tiny tots, were running up and down the rows after I got them planted, covered in footprints. And well, later on, when the seed germinated, I found that every one of the toddlers' footprints had good carrots in it. The places where the rows weren't packed down, the carrot seed didn't germinate worth a darn. Carrot seed does not like a lot of air around the seed. It'll cause it to dry out. And so these days, when I get the row done, I just go and I walk straight down the row, heel toe, right on down the row, and pack it in good. You can pack it in with a tool, you can press it down good with your hands, whatever you want to do. But make sure you knock the fluffy tilth out of the soil right over the seed. Pack it in. Past that, I can't think of hardly anything else that really goes wrong with carrots. There's a few things that might, bunny rabbits will chew up the greens. You can get a few creatures that will burrow into the carrot and so on. But generally speaking, this is a relatively trouble-free crop. Also, I'm only taking out this one big bunch that I'll eat for the next week. I'm going to clean them up, throw them in the fridge. I'm going to leave the rest of them out here in the garden. California, the ground doesn't get too cold in the winter. We don't have to worry about the carrots being damaged due to frost in the soil. I'm going to store my carrots in the garden this winter, and I'm only going to come out and dig the carrots as I need them. Now, the only thing in this plan that I have to watch out for is that as spring comes on and we start to pass over the middle of February, heading into March, days will get longer, it's going to get warmer, and these are going to want to bolt to seed. We'll start to get flower stalks. That you don't want. It ruins your carrots. You'll get a hard, woody core in the carrot. So you want to get them out before the growth starts in the spring. But as long as they're sleeping and they're not trying to send up any kind of new growth, you can store them out there all winter long, and they're just as good 2 months from now in the soil as they were today. So, happy gardening. Grow more carrots. Use carrots as a drought-tolerant second crop following spring planted crops if you have enough growing season for that kind of thing. They're really, really a great vegetable. Thanks for watching.